Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Legacy FC lightweight Jordan Rinaldi. Jordan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Jordan, you got a fight coming up this Friday night at Legacy FC 47. Since it is fight week, what's your schedule like from now until the fight?
Well, I try to keep the schedule about the same as usual. Train 2 or 3 times a day, depending on the day. But my diet is just the bigger difference, I guess you'd say. But everything's the same, pretty much. Just training a little lighter, too, of course.
Early on in this training camp, you tweeted out saying that you wanted to be 5 pounds over during fight week so that you didn't have to cut that much weight to make 155. How's your weight right now?
It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not at that point yet. I was talking more for like the actual weight cut. I want to be 5 over, but I'm pretty close to it, so it's not too far off.
Now, are they flying you from North Carolina to Georgia, or are you making the drive?
No, I'll just drive down. I mean, it's only a 3.5-hour drive, so it's not bad at all.
Now, where are you training at currently? Are you back with Team Rock?
Yes, sir. Back at Team Rock. I mean, when I moved to Vegas is the only time I changed camps, but when I moved back here, went straight back to Rock.
Just curious, why aren't you in Vegas anymore?
I guess it wasn't right for my mental state. I went on about a 3-fight losing streak, and it just wasn't working mentally for me. So when I got back to Charlotte, my mind was better. I was able to focus more, and I've been doing much better.
Now, you're fighting for Legacy on Friday night, but you used to be Team RFA. You were a staple with RFA. Just curious what happened with RFA and how did this fight with Legacy all come together?
And there's nothing that happened between me and RFA. I would still fight for them for sure. Mm-hmm. It is just an opportunity that came up, and I decided to take it. The guys at RFA, I mean, I still like them, and if they offered me another fight that was right, I would definitely take it. But they're also more West Coast as well. So Legacy is more East Coast. This is more West Coast. So it kind of made sense.
You're fighting Clay Harbison on Friday. What are your thoughts about him as an opponent?
He's good. He's tough. He's a good stalker. He's not the most impressive athlete overall, but he is good at what he does, which is stalking people, walking them down, heavy punches, and kind of relentless. So I gotta be ready for a good pace fight, a good intensity, and just a sharp guy on the feet, and good all around, I would say.
You and Clay Harbison have a lot in common. You both have the same birthday. You're both born on September 25th. He's a lot older than you, but same birthday. You also both have a unanimous decision victory over Joe Elmore, and you guys also have a split decision loss to Ronnie Rogers. So you guys have a lot in common. But I'm just curious, how do you view him competition-wise? Do you view him as a step up, a big step up, a lateral move, a step down? I don't know. From the guys that you've been fighting as of late, how do you view him competition-wise?
Let's see. Who was the last fight?
Diego Saraiva?
Diego Saraiva. All right, so from there, I mean, it's more of a lateral move just because Diego's so good on the ground. He's incredible on the ground. It's just different lateral move. He's bigger and better on the feet, or Clay's bigger and better on the feet, whereas Diego was so good on the ground, I had to be very careful. That one's more of a lateral move, but other than that, I'd say it's definitely a step up in competition. He's a good vet. He's been at 170 most of his career, so, I mean, it's a good step up in competition for sure.
Are you done fighting at featherweight?
No, it all depends on what the commissions are going to start doing with the weight cuts. If they're going to be more aggressive with the weight cut limits and everything like that, and as some of the states have been doing, and the UFC banning IVs, you know, I'll eventually have to move up to 155 for sure. But as long as most of the states are letting us do certain things, I'll keep fighting at featherweight.
How difficult is it for you to make 145? Is with the IV ban and all that stuff, coming into place and commissions getting more strict, will it be difficult for you even to get down there, or is it the recovery after the weight cut? Because that's what some people forget about is, okay, well, you made weight, but you got to fight the next day, so you want to be in a good place after the weight cut. So what is it more? Is it actually getting down to featherweight, or is it after feeling good for the fight?
It's both, because cutting to 45, I mean, it's hard for me to get there, but the recovery is important as well. I mean, 145 for me is a hard cut. I'm a huge featherweight, but at 55, it's a much easier cut, and I can do that. But the problem is IVs, if they're going to allow us to do them or not. And where I want to go, they don't allow it. So
right.
That's pretty much saying I'm going to be a 55, or if they call me up,
This fight is going to be taking place in Clay Harbison's backyard, basically. I think he's like from 15 minutes away from where you guys are going to be fighting. So you're going to be fighting in enemy territory, and it's nothing new to you. You've done it in the past. You've fought guys in their backyard before. Do you like being the bad guy? Do you like fighting in enemy territory?
It doesn't bother me. Like you said, most of my fights have been in other people's hometowns, whereas I haven't fought in Charlotte in 5 years, I think, something like that. So it kind of sucks not being able to fight at home, but at the same time, it doesn't bother me fighting in front of them or in their hometown. It doesn't bother me. I drown out the crowd, and I go out there and try to do my job.
Are friends, family, are they going to make the 3-hour drive and come watch you fight?
Some of my family lives in Atlanta, so a good bit of my family will be down there already. So I'll have a little bit of a crowd there, but nothing like Clay, I'm sure.
Right. It's obvious your goal is to make it to the UFC. You touched on it a little bit earlier. I'm just curious, did you see the first episode of Dana White Looking for a Fight? Did you see that first episode? That's that new Fight Pass show that they're doing. It's Dana White, Nick the Tooth, and Matt Serra. They had you on there, and I was kind of disappointed. You were the main event of a show that those guys went to, and they never showed your fight. They never showed anything about it. They just showed Matt Serra arguing with some drunk ring announcer, and then they showed a fight with one of Matt Serra's guys, somebody that's at his gym losing a fight. They never showed your fight, never mentioned the main event fight, and I thought it was kind of weird because, you had that brief stint on The Ultimate Fighter, and then Diego Saraiva, he used to fight in the UFC, so I thought that maybe we'd get a good storyline with that fight going, but they never showed anything, and they never talked about it. So, did you watch that first episode, and if so, what were your thoughts about that episode?
I didn't see the episode, but I heard a lot about it, and I was upset. Who was this random guy that they were showing from Team Sarah that lost the fight? And then it isn't even that impressive. And then to not show the main event of a card when you're looking for fighters, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on here? And
it was very confusing.
Yeah,
I was excited because I thought I was going to get some free coverage, some exposure, but no.
In the part where they showed the legacy fights, the first show, they had a legacy event, and then they had, I think it was NFC you fought on, I'm pretty sure. And then they showed that fight, but after the fights, they went in the locker rooms and congratulated all the winners. Did they do that? Did you talk to Dana White after that fight?
Nope.
No?
They were there for Sarah's boy, I guess, and no one else. So
oh boy,
it was unfortunate. I would have loved it. Sarah came to the back before the fight, but Holyfield and the Tooth and Dana didn't either.
Oh boy, that was disappointing. I thought they were going to mention that. That's a good story. You got a guy who used to fight in the UFC and a guy trying to make it to the UFC. It's perfect.
Exactly. It's a storyline.
Yeah. They know him. They could have said, "Oh, this guy. Remember he used to fight in the UFC?" And then, "Oh, well, who's this guy? Just beat him. Let's go figure out who he is."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't impress them enough. Drama sells, and that's what they were working on.
It was bad. They could have found drama in another way. That's just my opinion. But anyways, moving on.
Absolutely.
Do you think a win here, should you stop Clay Harbison, or even a dominant decision win where you just beat him up for 3 rounds? Do you think a win here, considering that you're on a 3-fight win streak right now, do you think if you get past Clay, you'll get that call?
I think it should. No, I'm not sure that it will, but I think it should. I mean, the guys that I've lost to are high-level guys. The know.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Shelby and Joe Silva know this. They know who I am. They know what I can do. So it's up to them, you know. I need to go out there and get a devastating win. If I can do that, I think they should be calling. But if not, I'm just going to get ready for the next one and do it again.
Do you think they've forgotten about that stint on The Ultimate Fighter? Do you think some time's passed, you picked up some wins, you're on a streak now? Do you think that factors in at all to you not getting signed?
I'm not sure. You know, that season was weird, and the setup that they had that year was weird, and the guy that I lost to is still in the UFC, and
right.
He's doing pretty good. I mean, if anything, I would say it helped my calls because they saw that I'm not a bum. I got caught in a fight. That's what happens sometimes, and I think they know who I am. They know what I can do, and they just want to get my record better.
Jordan, we'll end on this. It's a little segment I like to call Really Random. That's where I ask you a random question and you give me the real answer. Some of these questions are custom made just for you, and some of these questions are random ones that I ask everyone I interview. So here's the first question. Superpower you'd love to have?
Climbing walls. Spider-Man. He's the man.
Favorite movie?
Ooh. The Sandlot?
Movie you've seen the most times?
Troy.
Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite guilty pleasure?
Peach cobbler.
Celebrity crush?
Rachel McAdams.
Are you a big Notebook fan?
Actually, I am. That's pretty sad, but I like that movie. It's a good one.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I get misty every time I see it, but it's a good movie. Celebrity people say you look like?
His name's Chris Evans, I think. The guy from, Fantastic Four.
Captain America?
Yeah, Captain America. Yeah, I've heard that once or twice, and that's the only one.
That's great. That's great. You definitely are a Marvel superhero. You look like Captain America, but you got a beard like Wolverine.
Exactly. I do get that a lot. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I get that a lot, too, if I have the beard.
Will you have it this weekend?
Yes.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice.
I usually grow it out for the fights. Johnny Hendricks copied me.
Favorite Carolina Panthers player all time?
It's up there with Thomas Davis and Steve Smith. I mean, I got to go with Thomas Davis. He just seems like the right person. Steve Smith, on a personal level, just rubs me the wrong way.
So I thought you were going to go old school, like Kevin Green or somebody like that.
I was thinking about, I can't even think of his name, our old linebacker who had concussion problems. Why can't I think of him?
Dan Morgan?
Dan Morgan. I loved him. He was gritty.
Yeah.
But he had 10 concussions.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved him when he was in college, and then when he was on the Panthers, he was on the Super Bowl team that lost to the Patriots. Yeah, that was a good team. Jake Delhomme, Muhsin Muhammad.
Muhsin Muhammad, but then John Casey.
Yeah.
And
they had a good defense that year. I'm blanking on some of the names, but yeah. I know you're a big Carolina Panthers fan, so I had to ask favorite all time.
Oh yeah. Huge Panthers fan. I love them. We had a good running team, and Stephen Davis, I think, was our running back then.
Right.
Maybe he was before then, but I mean, we had a good run team and a great defense. That's how you win.
Yeah. When you lived in Las Vegas, you were roommates with Mark Dickman, and you guys fought at one point in time. Just curious, did you guys ever sit down and watch your fight together?
No, actually, I don't even think either one of us have a video of it. But he was pretty bitter after that fight. Our other roommate told me about how he went into his room and barely came out except to train and eat for a month. It was pretty funny, but we always had a laugh about it, and it was funny. But I love that guy. He's a good friend now. How
did you get with him? How did he become your roommate? Obviously, you trained at the same place as he did, but how did that all come together?
The RFA kind of set it up for me, so they wanted to kind of push me, so they had kind of a fighter house out in Vegas that they had a few guys in, and they had a little more room, so they asked me if I wanted to come out there and train. So I moved out there for a month to try it out, and I liked it, so I moved out there for good, and that's how it all came about. was really the RFA kind of pushing us.
What's your pet peeve?
Pet peeve. Driving. If you can't drive, it drives me crazy. I have bad road rage.
You and me both, yeah. There's a lot of people out there who don't have a clue. Time period you'd like to go back and visit, and why?
Time period. Anytime in the Roman reign. My family's from Italy and everything, so I just like the Roman history and everything like that. Sometime in the Roman Republic, so that'd be pretty cool. 500 or like 250 BC.
Person you look up to the most?
Jesus Christ.
Let's say you found a magic lamp, and you rubbed that magic lamp, and a genie appeared, and the genie said he was going to grant you 3 wishes. What would those 3 wishes be?
Man, a garage bigger than my house for all the cars that I'm going to have. Go ahead and be married to my fiance, and $1 million to last me for the rest of my life. That'll be enough for me one day.
Nice, nice. What do you worry about? What's something that keeps you up at night?
Not much. I mean, spiders. That's about it.
Spiders.
I don't have too much worries. I mean, I don't have any financial problems yet or anything like that, but pretty happy. And the Lord is the reason why I'm content and happy, and I don't have too much fear, I think.
Are you a full-time fighter, or do you work a second job?
I have a part-time job. I inspect cars on the side. But it's mostly full-time training. I train more than I actually work, so I consider that my primary job.
Oh, nice, nice. What's your hidden talent?
None. I have no talents. I can drive well. That's about it.
Hey, that is a hidden talent in this day and age.
It is.
Nobody can
It really is.
Best advice you were ever given through life, and best advice you were ever given through fighting, and who gave it to you?
Best advice I've been given is honestly stay in the Bible as much as possible and trust in it. And in fighting, I'd say just work hard. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I mean, it's so cliche, but it's so true. Hard work pays off.
Favorite TV show currently on the air, and favorite TV show that's no longer on the air?
There's none good on right now. It's terrible. I've been trying to find some, but they're terrible. But I'd have to say, for right now, is Gas Monkey, or I guess it's called I can't even think of the name of the show right now. And then I'd say Scrubs is the past one. That was the best one. Love that show.
Number one thing on your bucket list?
Ooh. Go to Nuremberg and drop the ring.
Last question, Jordan. If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change and why?
I would just take out hate. There's too much hate in the world, and once we get past that, I was just watching a movie about hatred and differences and things like that. And honestly, if we got rid of hatred, people would be able to talk, would be able to communicate and talk about differences, and changes needed to be made. But people hate each other so much that it gets in the way.
Jordan, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Shock Doctor, Impact Mouth Guards, Cage Side MMA, and just I hope you all are excited and ready for a good show to be put on Friday night.
Jordan, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck this Friday night at Legacy FC 47 against Clay Harbison.
All right.